One.
Hello, I'm Rachel.
I'm Sarah.
And we're just going to talk to you a little bit about some house visits that we did in Kenya. My group, first we went to a boy named Francis' house, and he was 17 and he was in Form 7, which is like equivalent of 7th grade here. And basically he was like that low grade because he lived with his grandma, and she had had like a spider bite on her chest, and so she had been like really sick. And his older brother, like when we walked into the house, he was like sniffing cocaine, and so his older brother wasn't really in the picture. Like he was just kind of like out on the streets all the time, and so Francis was basically making the food, like making the money, and going to school at the same time. So that was like you could tell it was just like a lot of pressure on him. Like he had to lease out the land that they lived on to make money for his family, and like his grandmother couldn't, like she was like she couldn't move, so she was in bed all day. So at night he would like come and keep her warm and make her food and all this stuff. So this was affecting his schooling, so that's why he was in such a low grade. But it was just really cool to just be able to see like how different it is there. But it was also really encouraging to hear Francis talk about his future plans, because he's actually planning on being a pilot, and he's planning on just being able to study hard. And the person that was showing us around, whose name was Linda, she's kind of like a social worker there, she was just like very encouraging to him, and like she said like we'll be bringing like blankets and kerosene so he can stay up late and study, and just she was very encouraging and just saying like God has a plan for you, and no matter like how hard it is now, it's going to be better. And so it's just really cool to be able to experience that.
Yeah, the home visits were very emotional for all of us, and very personal, because it's, you know, you're entering someone's home, and the houses were very as simple as they can be. They're made of wood and not wood, mud, and so inside it's, you know, maybe some furniture, and the beds were not, you know, they had a bed frame, some of them would sleep on the ground, and they would share beds with their family members. So it was just very, like, you know, emotional for most of us to go in there and talk to their family members. And well, a lot of the people had to translate a lot of the students had to translate for the guardians or their parents. A lot of them lived with guardians, but so we had to translate that, and then we talked about you know, how life was going and what they needed, what we could do to help them. And it was interesting that they didn't have electricity, or they used kerosene oil for lamps, like Rachel said. And if they wanted to study, they'd have to study by the light of that lamp. And, you know, if you run out of kerosene, then what else? You can't do anything else. Mm-hmm. And there was also the problem that one of the families had was a hole in the roof, or just an opening that might have appeared, and if it rained, then, you know, the rain comes into your house, and he couldn't, I think he had to stay up all night, because he didn't have, you know, what else can you do? You can't do anything else if the rain just comes in your house, and he had to sleep, you know, to one side of the house. So it was probably one of the meaningful parts of the whole trip for all of us. Mm-hmm. And the houses, most of the homes we went to were probably a couple miles away from the school, although I know a lot of the kids, you know, they get up early and they'd have to walk to school back and forth a couple miles each day.